on a number of occasions, and throughout maybe for a couple of months, they didn't let me go down on them.
I've had that before.
And they wouldn't let me, and they wouldn't go down. Actually, it was more so they wouldn't go down on me. And because they feel like that's the most intimate place and vulnerable place for them to be in, and they only do it with guys that they're really into, or reciprocates that kind of same feeling towards.
I get that. I do get that. I understand that. Yeah.
Yes. You're gonna find it hard to pinpoint me on any answers here. Yeah.
What would you do though?
Yeah. Oh, so if it was me,
minus the questioning.
I'd have a fucking question. I'd ask him because there's got to be more to it. There's always more to it. Because I know there's more to it. So what if they then told you, whoever you're with, that the reason they wouldn't do it was because they had been
abused or something?
Something like that. And they didn't tell you that at first because they're really embarrassed and really ashamed. Would that change your mind?
I have a story.
It would make me more like understanding and empathetic, but then I'd also be like, cool, we need to get you to therapy. Like, we need to get the sort. Because, you know, like, mum has got some needs, you know what I'm saying? So, like, you know, like, you got to get him to therapy. And if he was like, no, I don't want to, then I'd be like, okay, now there's an issue.
Yeah.
Because then it's like, you don't want to work on any of these things. You just want them to exist. And I don't think I could be with someone who's just okay with, like, not trying to work on those things. So,
yeah. Got it.
I've had a situation like this before where...
Is it you?
No, it is about me.
Oh, right, it is. Oh, okay, I think you said it's about someone.
No, I've had a situation before where I was hanging out with this girl, and then we were sleeping with each other, and I was like, oh, Mom, if you're listening to this, just turn off. But anyway, I was about to go down, and she was like, oh, don't do that. I was like, don't do what? I was like, oh, don't go down me. I was like, okay, sweet, fine, whatever. Then we just obviously did everything else, but then once we were finished, I was like, oh, out of curiosity, I actually kind of put two and two together based on what we've spoken about previously, just about her life and what she's done and university and the kind of stuff that she used to do, because we're quite open while we were dating. And I put two and two together after she said, and I was like, out of curiosity, if you don't mind me asking, why do you not enjoy going down on guys, or not enjoy, but why you don't want to do it at this point? And she explained to me, I was like, you know what, that's totally fair, because I actually put two and together, and I don't really want to say what it is, because if she listens, she'd know I'm talking about. I put two and two together, and I was like, that makes so much sense. Having that experience when you're younger, doing this kind of stuff, obviously has put this weird kind of connotation with the whole oral sex thing, and it's obviously something you only want to do with someone who you're really into. And she's like, that is totally it. And she loved the fact that I understood, because she said she's been in situations where she's kind of explained that to men, and it hasn't been received very well. And literally 30 minutes later we started having sex again, and she was just keen to do it.
Really?
Awesome.
Yeah.
So
within the same sitting.
Well, that just shows like it just took someone to be okay with the boundary, and then it's like, well, I can be comfortable.
And to feel safe.
And to
feel
feel safe. I think it's a safe
trust.
thing. Especially if you have people who have been in sexual situations where they've probably felt like used and exploited. And like you said, there's always a reason for people's reactions to certain things. So when it comes from that standpoint, I'm like, that is completely understandable that you'd feel that way. And then whenever she felt comfortable, she was like, I didn't even push it. I was just like, wait, what are you doing? I kind of like stop, and then she's like, no, I want to do it. I was like, Merry Christmas. I was like, keep on going. Keep on going.
I love a challenge.
Don't need to tell me twice.
And that's just such a great example of when we do get to have those conversations and find out things can really change. And this is it. It's like, I always say, this is what I always, advise my clients, is always assume that there's something wrong, even if they don't tell you. Like, if you're out on the street and someone pushes into you, or if someone bashes, if someone, is in traffic, they're cutting you up or whatever, instead of getting angry and all of that, just assume that they ain't happy and there's something going on in their life. Because what we do is it's all personal.
We were just talking about this, because we were just saying, because we were saying how the approach culture has, diminished or is going down a lot in terms of men going up and approaching women. And I was like, do you think it's because of the response they get? And sometimes it can be quite snappy responses. And, Dwayne was saying before, it's like it would be nice for them to be courteous and be like, hey, listen, I've got a mister, I'm not interested, have a nice day. But if someone is being rude, you have no idea what's happened in their day. And, a bit of perspective in terms of they could have, had an argument with their mister, 5 lads already come up to them, they've had a shit day at work, like whatever it is. you'd like to think that people for no reason aren't arseholes.
Yeah.
And it's because something has happened in their day to make them
Always.
have that. So, you know,
Yeah.
it's also then for the lad to not be egotistical about it and be like, you know, I'm going to take that as an attack on me
Yeah.
instead of just understanding that person has got some shit going on.
Yeah.
And I always